Lincolnshire, Southampton, these parts of the country where there's significant employment, it's tough politics. It's tough politics. But I would rather that we thought about it, thought about the implications of these things. I certainly don't live in some sort of utopia. I live in the real world, and I have to look at what's going on and think, well, how does Britain chart its way through all of this? And has jobs for people to do that are productive, not just created to keep people off unemployment lists, that have access to food, to water, to energy, to homes, that is secure and safe. And I think we take that too much for granted, way too much for granted. Somebody disinvented war in this world. How do we navigate through and also try to have some core values about freedom of expression, freedom of movement, freedom of the press, the right for people to choose where they live, who they marry, where their children go to school, that they have access to decent education, that we all have access to decent healthcare. I look ahead and think, how can I secure all of that? Not me personally, but how can I be part of securing all of that? And I get quite, I think it's challenging, really challenging. And yeah, along the way, we might have to make some difficult decisions. There's some decisions that maybe we're not really 100% comfortable about. But I'm a realist, as well as being a bit of an idealist. And I'm trying to hold on to that idealism as best I can. It's difficult when confronted with the challenges that really matter at the moment, such as an ideological crisis in the Middle East, which has an impact here at home. We've got real problems preventing atrocities in this country at the moment. Real problems. Do not underestimate them. How do we get access to heat and water and to food? We're dependent as a nation on food imports, dependent on energy imports. And if Scotland votes tonight to say yes, we're dependent on water as well. You happy about that? I'm not happy about that. I want my country to be strong, to be independent enough to stand for things that are good.
And yet we
and part of that is
companies and French governments to own our water. I mean,
yeah, but well, there are some issues around the privatisation of utilities, and we haven't got time to discuss them at length. But there's a hint here of conspiracy about corporations, about foreigners, about everything else. Realistically, as it currently stands, we live in a pretty good country. It could be much, much better. And I've gone into politics to play my little small part in that, which will involve representing, I think, your best interests. But I'm under no illusions about how difficult it's going to be to secure the future, to secure the lifestyle that you've had, madam, for the children of the future. Because actually, the future is going to be much harder. The next 60 or so years can be much, much harder for the people who are going to be living through it than the last 60 years, which in historic terms has been a golden generation period. Okay? And I feel very conscious of that. And that's why I'm doing my bit. Anyway, I must close there. Sorry, Michael. We'll talk afterwards. Thank you very much for coming.